Hey, welcome to the Big Pine REM Radio. We're your hosts, Marielle.
I'm Rachel.
Today we have Miss Sandy Lund here to interview. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, yeah. The big part, you guys, is I literally grew up here. You know, my grandpa moved here in 1939, and the property that's over there was the Lund compound. And we had trailers and a Quonset hut and gas station and the restaurant we were built by all of us. So I started here, and I graduated from school here. And then I went to Fresno State, and God, I have some thoughts about, because, well, I'll tell you that later. And then I landed up moving to San Francisco. And so I got to be in San Francisco during the 60s. And I'm thrilled about that, you know, because my grandmother was through the Roaring 20s, so I got to be through the 60s and the women's movement. And when we talk about sports, which I will, how far it's gone for you guys that wasn't there when I was in school. It's just incredible.
Yeah.
So anyway, and I worked for home insurance, I worked for Fuller Paint, and then I came back home after 22 years. Only had the 2 jobs, and I cocktailed, and you know, and it's when I worked at Finocchio's as the camera girl. You know, it's just that I've always worked, and so anyway, went to Mammoth and landed up. I don't know, it's just kind of interesting, the journey, because I just kept moving along. And so I developed a career, actually, with Mono County as an alcohol and drug person, you know. And then this was as close as I could get to my mom without fighting with her, I think, too. You know, 50 miles was good. Anyway, and then we lost Mom in 2000, and then I fixed up the house, and I moved down here. And when I moved down here, you guys, it's like the importance of Big Pine and the importance of the school. Yeah. And that's kind of one of your questions, but they were important to me when I was a kid, and they're important to me today.
Yeah.
Because our youth is really our future.
Yeah.
And I was one of those youth, and now I'm the future. Oh, you poor kids. Is that answer the question, you think?
Yeah, for sure. Well, you graduated from Big Pine like a long time ago. What was it like going to the school back then? Was it like interesting? How different is it from it is now?
Well, what's interesting is that when I was in school, and I kind of said it last night at the board meeting, is that sports were really, really important. You know, and we had football, basketball, track. I mean, we had them all, you know. And for the males, it wasn't true for the females, and that's another thing I want to touch on. And that's not happening now. And because of that, we had the Letterman's Club, we had the GAA, which is the Girls Athletic Association. Less spirit. I think that's the thing that really gets to me most, huh? And we used to have home ec. Now you got a bodybuilding thing, and that's where I learned to sew. Who was I talking to? Was talking about sewing. We would take the CSF, the California Scholarship Federation, our 3.0 students. Once a year they went down to this conference, and it was at Pepperdine when I was a kid. Okay, and then and then also, I almost forgot that. The cheerleaders, they had like a cheerleading conference, I think in Riverside or Redlands, one of those places. And we got to go down and participate in the cheerleading competition for the California. And I need to tell you guys, it's just so funny, because in our day, we made our cheerleading costumes.
Oh, really?
Look at that look on her face.
Wow.
Yeah, and now you guys buy them. And so we go down there, and all these really nice cheerleading, and there we are in our little homemade goodies doing our B-I-G. But we did it. So I think, another thing we did that you don't do now too, and I couldn't think of the name, which really bothers me, but the freshman class for a week, they had, we'd dress them up, and what do they call that? Do you remember? You don't do it, so you wouldn't remember. Anyway, that's what we would do. There wasn't a cruelty involved, you know.
Yeah.
It's just that they would carry books or,
Yeah.
come on, you must know what the word is. Oh, you guys don't do it. It's so far
Like
long ago. Anyway, we don't do that. I have this great picture of my sister and my mom, and she's in a football outfit.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah.
like a Spirit Week type of thing?
Well, but it's called something different, and it's the sophomores, junior, and seniors get to do it to the freshmen only.
Oh.
So.
Hey, we should bring that back.
Thank you.
I think they call that bullying now.
Yeah, no, they
It
can
was a
dress the
better
boys up in our
term.
class like cheerleaders.
Fun, huh?
Yeah, the girls can just sit back and watch.
So I'm thinking, I went over this, and I'm thinking I went through the book, and that's kind of what I, like we had a band then.
Oh,
yeah.
no way.
Yeah.
Really?
And a chorus. And
Wow.
when we were in school.
That would be so nice. Like, personally, with the basketball season and everything, I really wanted to do cheerleading. I would have loved to be a cheerleader, but nobody wants to, like, put themselves out there, or, like, they don't go around and ask about it. Like, oh, do you want to be a cheerleader? Like, yeah, no.
Well, you can do it, you know. You can go and get some people because, the first game that we had here, I'm out there leading cheers and I'm 82 years old.
Tell me about
Exactly,
that,
yeah. And it was like,
Mel and I would love working with you and anybody else, just because she was a wannabe cheerleader. I was a cheerleader.
oh, wannabe.
In fact, I was a cheerleader from the 7th grade
Really?
Wow.
for 6 years. Yeah. And I didn't get to be homecoming queen because the boys told me is that they needed my voice to cheer.
Oh.
I had swear words for them, but I won't repeat them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
How we doing? Are we doing okay?
we're doing good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Out of all the things that you just told us now, which do you think changed the most? Was it like,
What's changed the most?
yeah, like in the
Yeah.
school?
I really think the whole, you guys do a lot of really incredible projects outside of the school that's about the area. And one of the things you do that's just wonderful is the Native American history study. It's just,
Yeah.
it's a feather in our cap, but what's changed the most is the lack of really sports enthusiasm,
For sure.
I think.
Oh, I agree
Yeah.
with you. It was, as someone who's like a volleyball player and like who really wanted to be out there on the court this year, I was so crushed, like not being able to get to go out there and play. Like that was like, that's been my dream since I started playing, is getting up into the big leagues and getting up and like, working on that part of myself and like making.
Don't give it up because
Yeah.
there's always next year.
That's true, but it's really sad just to see, like, people don't want to put in this commitment to sports.
I had and this is kind of off topic, on topic, but I was at the athletic awards last year in 24, not 25, and there's this kid about this tall, and he's on his device, right, and his dad's standing next to him, and I said to the kid, what sport do you play? And he said, oh no, I don't play any sports, I bowl.
Like bowling?
On his device.
Oh.
And then his dad says, says, our family, when the kids are bad, we make them go outside without their devices. And I love that because when I was a kid, you had to go to your room.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
The roles reversed.
But that's where it is. Now, I understand the football part because of head injuries. But anyway, on to the next. You'll find out I talk a lot.
No, that's
No,
okay.
that's
It's better.
That's what we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. We want all that captured.
Okay.
Are there any traditions that students participated in that they don't now? Kind of like how you're talking about with the freshmen besmirching.
Yeah, well, in the Letterman's Club and the GAA for girls and the CSF stuff, the trips,
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see some of those again. Like, I would love to do something like that.
I kind of wish we had a band again.
Wait, and
Yeah.
there's a picture of it in here.
Really?
The band, yeah.
To look at that.
And we had that one gal here a few years back that when Mary Rossi was in school, the
Yeah.
divas, she called them, so. And we actually, the high school people would do plays, and the community would come. And then when I was probably in grammar school, they had a talent show, but it wasn't just students, it was a talent show for the people in town.
Really?
Oh, that would be
Great.
We need to go talk to Cerrone or something.
So I remember being a kid, and my dad played the steel guitar, and then Duffy Brooks played the guitar, and they were up there on the stage. I was so proud of him, to do that. So anyway, I think that's most of it. That's why I left this here, because this tells a lot.
Yeah, a lot of story that we don't really know about. Like, I didn't know that we even had like half as many things as you were talking about. Like, I didn't know about all of those like traditions and the band, and the home economics. I didn't know.
Well, and that's why I made a list of the kids. We had 57 kids in high school, and you guys have what, 35?
No, I thought we had like 50.
We have a little bit more. Steele, how many people are in our high school?
In fact, we always had a Sadie Hawkins, and I got this marvelous picture of me sitting with Bob Thomas on a barrel of hay, and what we did is my date that night was Chuck Dews, and I drove his mom and dad's car to pick him up to bring him to the Sadie Hawkins Day, because that was a girl thing.
Yeah. So you got to go ahead and pick him up and everything. That's pretty cool.
Well, you know what? And all of our dancers, you guys, when they started to go in the hall and in the gym, with our 57 kids in high school, everything we did was in the cafeteria.
Yeah, that's how we're gonna have to do homecoming this year. Or, technically, it's homecoming, but we agreed on what, winter formal or something like that.
I don't think we agreed yet.
Oh, we hadn't agreed
that
yet.
Vote. We have to ask Mr. Ronda.
Yeah, we need to talk about that because we're starting to plan our homecoming.
Yes.
And we're like, first of all, we're trying to figure out what to call it, but we have to do it in the gym and like
in the cafeteria.
Or in the cafeteria, sorry. But I got to see Bishop's homecoming, and it was absolutely magical. Like, I thought it was the coolest thing ever, seeing how big it was and how, like, oh my god, people actually come to these sort of things. And it's like, it's really sad that we don't do a whole bunch of stuff here. I really wish we would, but I brought up Sadie Hawkins Day to our ASB when we started.
Oh, is that right?
I did, yeah, and they were just like, no, we're not doing this.
Why?
I can't remember exactly why. Don't you remember that? She kind of shot it down because it was in like February.
I don't think I was in the room when that happened. I just remember you told me that she had said no.
We had bales of hay all around the cafeteria ground. Yeah. We had a country western, recording or something. We didn't have what you guys have today. Yeah.
It seems nice. That would have been nice. I think.
And we were dressed totally
on theme. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Literally, like, what I think our homecoming theme is going to be is probably blackout.
Blackout?
Yeah. Everyone shows up in
like
black.
it's like a formal kind of like.
Oh, no, I'm just, because, Marilyn and I love the homecoming parade.
Yeah, I'm really glad because in past years, I think homecoming's been canceled.
The dance part.
Yeah, the dance part of homecoming has been canceled.
So that was the other thing that we did when I was in school is Mammoth High School was an open jet. And so all the kids there from June Lake and Mammoth went to Levining.
Oh.
And so our homecoming would be with Levining.
Oh.
And they would come down and we would have a volleyball game.
Yeah.
The football game. We'd have a dinner, and then we'd have a dance. We'd have a parade through town, too. And then a dinner and a dance.
Yeah.
And then the next year it would be in Levining, and they would do the same thing with us.
That's awesome. I really like Levining as a school. I think they're all really nice.
And their school, you guys, was like about as big as this table up against the mountain.
Yeah.
And I love telling the story that when we played football with them, our coach at the time said to the players, do not, whatever you do, when we're out there playing, don't pick them up thinking they're pine-ups, because they're deer poop. Now, we played, their football field was going up Tioga Pass. They just went and mowed all the bushes down.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of the olden days, Mr. Steele. Okay. How'd I do?
You're good. Yeah.
So, out of all of these things that you're telling us, too, what's your favorite of your memories from here?
Well, you know, I've thought a lot about this one. I mean, I thought a lot about this one, you guys, and I just want to tell you a funny story, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
Prom night, or prom week, I graduated 12 people, and I was the only girl.
Yeah.
Okay, and I gave the boys a lecture because they weren't inviting the lower class girls to the prom, and I gave them this, and I was really good at that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so after school that day, here comes the senior doofus. You know what a doofus is?
Oh
Little
yeah.
dummy.
Okay. Would you go to the prom with me? I said, no, that didn't apply to me. So I went to the prom by myself. And then 25 years later, we had a school reunion. And one of the questions in the school reunion was, what do you know now that you didn't know when you were in school? And I put down that I should have gone to the prom with John. And I felt like what happened is that I ruined his life. Talk about fake power, okay?
Yeah.
25 years later, so that's 50 years after we graduated, he knocks on the door again. He just wanted to see how I was.
Aww.
It was so sweet. And so I read to him what I had written earlier. And he was so sweet because he says, oh, Sandy, you were just the most beautiful girl in school. And I went, oh, God, John, I didn't know that. And he says, if I'd have known that, I would have told you. Isn't that precious? At that point, he'd been married 50 years, had 3 children, was successful in his business, and I'm going, we don't really know, do we, when we're in high school? He wasn't a doofus. He was a nice man.
Yeah.
Really nice. Uh-huh.
Yes. So, I guess it's good I didn't know that earlier, huh? Okay, and that's one of the other favorite one is, and you guys would probably be arrested or kicked out of school, but I was trying to get in the gym, and this junior boy wouldn't let me in the gym, and I was really strong. You know, we built the house, and I put the cement and hauled all that stuff, and I yanked that door open, and I jumped on him. Now, the side part of that is nobody ever asked me out. Nanner, Sandy. Okay. Is that good?
Yes.
You've been on the school board for a long time. What motivates you to serve?
I love my school. I loved my school then. I still love my school. And I will do anything I can. I try to come to all the events that happen at school. You know, I so believe that you guys are our future. You know, and I just want to support your successes, and I want to kick your ass if you're failing. And the other thing is I absolutely love my town.
Yeah.
And so I've been with the Civic Club and the president there for probably just because they came back in 2000 from Mammoth, and and it's really about, I think that part of the question about volunteering, it just so is what makes a small town so compelling to me.
Yeah.
You know, that people volunteer to do things. Last year I had this lady that just, she felt that when we were doing cleanup with fire abatement, and we were asking for volunteers, and she said, well, we have a lot of immigrants that would like to earn some money, you know, and I went, geez, I'm not comfortable asking for volunteers to work with people that we're paying. So let's see what happens this first year, and we can reevaluate it. And she disagreed with me, and I said, oh God, a city girl. Because when I grew up, we didn't have leash laws, and we didn't have this and this and this, and people come up here and they love our area. They love the mountains, they love the town, but then they want to change things for the convenience they had in Southern Cal.
Yeah.
And that's just not it.
That's not who we are as a community.
Yeah.
But
It's, I don't know. I feel like sometimes they do change things, and then it just ends up worse sometimes because, you know,
yeah.
we, like when we build stuff all over the town, or like how people are trying to push to make it bigger, we just bring more, like, tourists, and I see, because I moved
we
here.
call them flatlanders.
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 Because they're low elevation, right? Yeah. I remember I moved here about 8 years ago, and back then there weren't that many tourists, and it was so different. And now there's so many cars. We've almost gotten run over. Like, she tried to cross the road one day when we were going to the movie theater, and then we almost got ran over. And that didn't used to happen. You used to be able to see like younger kids walking around.
What we would do, there were 2 things we did on 390. Well, 3 things.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we over? I have a picture of, it snowed here all the time in our day. And there's a picture of Main Street and an old plow in front of my grandpa's gas station. And we were pulling kids with their sleds down Main Street in the snow, right? Number 2, let me see. What were the questions? What were you telling me about the tourists?
I was telling you about how dangerous it's kind of become with more people showing up and expanding our town and everything.
I called Caltrans as part of my community stuff when this is like maybe 5 years ago. That there were 3 wrecks at Westgard and 395.
Yeah.
And 2 of them were like in August and one was in January. So I called Caltrans. You know, I'm saying, hey guys, we got to do something about these signs, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And the response I got was, oh, well, you know, Sandy, these come in 3s. And I thought, so what I hear you telling me is somebody has to die before you guys will look at it and try to slow these cars down.
Oh my God.
We had Connie Johnson and Terry, it was Terry Johnson's father-in-law.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, in I don't know, in the 50s sometimes Caltrans wanted to make the speed limit through Big Pine 45 miles an hour because that's what everybody was driving.
Yeah.
So he put a big sign in the back of his truck and drove up and down saying, Caltrans wants to kill our children.
Gee.
Yeah.
So it stayed at 35.
Yeah. I think now it's 25.
But you know what? Just even saying that, that's what protests are. That's what.
Yeah.
You know, there is power in those things.
For sure.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
Words, definitely.
Anyway,
Yeah.
what else was it?
I'm glad they kept it low.
Me too.
I'm glad that they kept the speed low because some people, even though right now it's at 25 miles per hour, they still come by in 50 and 40 and 60s, and
I've complained about the at Crocker Street that, you know, that is a because 80% or more, 90% of the population lived on the west side, and the post office is on the east side.
Yeah.
And
I live
so
over by the post
people cross the street to go to the post office, even in their car or on foot.
Yeah.
So you're absolutely correct.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, I haven't been living here as long as Marielle has. I've been living here about five years, almost 6. And there's just, well, most of the time, it was COVID, so we were, quarantined into our house. But I definitely, for sure, see, people shouldn't be going as fast as they are. It's really crazy.
Yeah.
That was, speaking of, that was one thing we did, is the white lines, I think, are 15 feet long. Is that right? Do you remember? Oh, measure them, because it was a really good question to ask. So all the kids are out there measuring the white lines. They're much longer than they look, is my point.
Yeah.
So anyway.
It used to be.
Thanks, guys. This has been fun. Go on.
Well, we know that you're active in the community, as you've been saying, how you talk to Caltrans, but why do you think volunteering in the community is important?
It keeps us alive, is my best answer with that. And where I'm feeling some sadness is that, and it's not just Big Pine, I think it's kind of a universal problem, that volunteering is less appealing to people. So old farts like me, we just keep. I said to the Civic Club, am I going to be president until I croak? And they said, yeah. So,
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
heck.
I mean, it's. I feel like, based on, I don't know you that well, but based on what we've been talking about, you seem pretty outspoken. So.
you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Like you seem like you would fight for what you
I
believe
did.
in. You do.
And actually, it was after those 3 wrecks that happened. We did get a 55, 45, and 35. Then I got on the bandwagon because the 35 was probably 50 feet from Copper Top. And so they're still, and that's when the red got killed, was right at that
Oh,
corner.
Yeah, he
You know, because they still were going way too fast. And so I'm just hoping they leave the signs like they are. The problem is in Big Pine is that 395 is classified as highway. And so the rules and the signage are a direct result of it
Yeah.
being a highway and not a boulevard, so to speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
That sucks. That really sucks.
Wish we could change that. You know. Wish it would have been a little bit more safer.
Yeah,
For sure. Well, do you have any advice for students?
You know what, I thought a lot about this, is that how important school is. I know that some of the kids think that they're smarter than the teachers. And
Oh, yeah.
and the truth is that basic education, I remember when I was in Mono County and I was doing a drug diversion for high school kids, and I had read, I think it was in Newsweek or something, that the least employable person is a white boy without a high school diploma. And I'm talking about digging ditches.
Yeah.
You know, so the importance of school, and that's what I said last night at the board meeting. Alice Piper fought for our native, nationally, population to go to public school. You know, and she would be rolling around in her grave right now with the absenteeism that we're experiencing. You know?
Oh, for sure, yeah.
And so, and that's what I would say. Also about the sports, I wanted to say, is that when I was in school and the girls played basketball, we only could do 2 dribbles, half court.
Come on now, that's not basketball.
I agree, but we were girls, remember?
Yeah.
And then the
true.
real sporting event that the girls got to do is what we called play days. And that was in Bishop and Lone Pine and Independence. And we'd take a busload of girls and we'd play day with them all day.
That sounds fun.
Well, it sounds fun, but it's really sexless if you ask me.
I mean, well, yeah, it's really
separated
sexist, but like,
You know? And I think, God, when I went to, and that was the other thing I wanted to say, is that when I went to Fresno State, I was asked to be on the yearbook, on the Fresno. I was so busy learning how to date that I and then the next thing that happened is that this guy, he asked me to join their cheerleading squad. And I part of that is because of who I am.
Yeah.
You know, the guy with the yearbook is the one that did these. I don't know how you guys do it now, but I always like to show, this is how bossy I was, you guys. Oh, it's way in the back, I guess. Anyway, I was the editor, or whatever we call them. Yeah, here it is. They called me editor-in-chief. Simon Legree, they called me. But it was the seniors that did the yearbook.
Yeah.
And that's where, you know, and so the importance that I say is whatever we do here
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's just here.
yeah.
Okay, because to be asked to be on the editor of the Fresno State yearbook and to be on the cheerleading squad was a huge compliment.
Yeah.
You know, and I'd have yelled and screamed and had a good time doing it too.
Yeah.
So
It's like saying that you were like worked so hard that you managed to get that out of everyone there, you know, out of all the girls.
I had a loud voice, remember?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm so used to like there being like either all groups of like There was last year. There's all the seniors were girls, and this year all the seniors are boys because nobody wants to be left alone with them. Nobody wants to like have like everybody be one
I
gender.
just kicked. I'm telling you, I kicked butt with those 11 guys.
Yeah, I believe you.
We,
Oh, for sure.
we used to, our graduation. We did it with Bishop.
Yeah.
We'd go to eat, and we'd go to the show, and then we'd go to the Elks, and we'd have a dance all night thing. And I had laryngitis, and I also had a date with the Bishop boy.
Oh.
And the boys didn't. And they were just hanging around my date and I couldn't tell them to get away, leave us alone. And John Brooks says, I've waited 12 years to talk over you, Sandy. Oh, it's okay. They used to put my shoes up on the flagpole too because I had big feet. Yeah. If I can't laugh at myself,
then somebody else is gonna.
Yeah. So anyway.
Well, is there anything else you'd like to tell us, or?
Well, he said my mom was here at the school, and that's Helen Square.
Yeah.
Was named after her. She absolutely loved the kids, and what she would do is if a kid left early, she'd call their home. She would tell on the kids is what she would do. And but she cared so much for, and if there was like family problems and with a student, she just kind of embraced those kids especially, and like I said, she pretty much ran the school, but they moved her out where actually across from the library, whatever that building is, there was a home out there, and they bought it and they moved the office out there, and she literally hated it because her interaction with the kids was almost gone. Yeah. So I hope to pick up her slack.
I hope you can. Thank you so much for coming here and letting us interview you, and for telling us so much, because honestly I feel I haven't been in this school that many years, so I feel like I haven't been as involved, but now I know more. Thank you.
For sure, I agree with you. Yes, thank you so much. It's been great getting to talk to you.
I want to thank you guys for asking me to come here and be part of this. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much for coming.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you for coming and watching our podcast. Well, bye.
Bye.